Hi everybody, welcome to ChiroCore. We're going to do another series today. I'm Dr. Renee with Intun ChiroCare.
And I'm Kayla Shutter from Core Connection Pilates.
So we are here today just to generally talk about low back pain. I think in future episodes we'll talk about more specifics, but we're just going to kind of talk about the general basis. I myself have noticed a huge increase in low back cases since quarantine. And I think the reason being is a lot of the facilities that people used were closed down. Then people were working at home, and so the ergonomics changed significantly too. So we just kind of wanted to touch base about low back pain. It's such a broad topic though, so we will be breaking this off into other little topics down the road. So I know that some of the people that I have referred to you have had low back pain. So do you want to talk about a little bit of your experience with low back pain?
Yeah, I mean, actually that's usually the number one reason why people start doing some type of exercise or chiropractic care is because of low back pain. So, and like she said, there's so many reasons why you could experience back pain. It could just be something chronic because you sit at a desk all day. It could be something more serious with your vertebrae, slip disc, bulging disc. So we have to be really careful about how we approach movement and what we're doing to help facilitate and rehabilitate that area versus adding any more strain or stress to that area. So it's always a challenge for me because I never know until I start working with the client what exercises are going to be okay with them. And some people it's like absolutely no to one exercise, and other people have more range to work through depending on how serious their back pain is. So yeah, it's always a challenge. I never know until I start working with a person what they're going to be capable of doing, and we just work with that and hope that it gets better and not worse, and that's the goal.
For sure. And I think everything is so individualized. Like I can take x-rays of 10 different people with about the same complaint of low back pain in the same area, and every 10 set of x-rays looks completely different. So it's such a specific thing, but I just kind of wanted to go over some general anatomy that I have seen that is congruent throughout low back pain, and then just kind of maybe talk about some just generalized things like that. And then, like I said, we'll get into very specific things down the road. So this is basically your spine, and this is the back side. So this is your butt bone where you sit, and this is your sacrum, and the tailbone is at the end, and then this is your lumbar spine. What I see most prominent for low back pain is the lumbosacral junction right here. And I feel like it has a lot to do with the pelvic flexion and pelvic extension and that lack of core muscles. Like that's what I really feel like is probably the main contributor besides degeneration and injuries is lack of core strength.
Right.
So, I think, and that's again why we're doing this series, is because, chiropractic can help get the pelvic flexion and pelvic extension back into a more neutral position, but it doesn't help strengthen the muscles to keep it there.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes, exactly. And that's what I always say, like chiropractic care go hand in hand with what we're doing, because you get adjusted, but you have to build the strength to maintain that and to keep that. And that's why like doing exercises and things like that on a regular basis are going to help hopefully get you longer to have to go in between appointments, or it's just going to keep it more as a maintenance thing rather than, oh my gosh, I'm in so much pain, I need to get to my chiropractor right now. It's something that becomes a more, less stress on you probably as a practitioner to keep these people healthy and keep them moving and not coming in on an emergency level.
Yes, for sure. And that's what my practice is really about. I do help people in emergency state and people come into pain, but I'm really passionate about that wellness and keeping them good and like adding benefits on top of having no pain, if that makes any sense at all.
Right.
And one thing with low back pain too, like people don't realize sometimes how debilitating it can be, because pain is exhausting. Like if you're even if it's like on a pain scale of 0 to 10, 0 being no pain, 10 being the worst pain, even if you're 2 to 3 consistently, like constant pain, like that really weird, and it kind of starts like interfering with your daily life, like how you feel, like, you know, and things like that. So I think it's really important, even if it's, you don't feel like it's super painful, to like either start working on core strength or getting adjusted or both, because we don't realize that over time it really does make a huge difference. And I mean, again, we're probably gonna repeat some of the stuff that we've said in previous things. Like, it's daily posture. Like, I really feel like, full disclosure, when I first started Pilates, like my low back was, I mean, it was significant, but I spend most of my day bent over patients like this. And then I have a drop table, so I use my legs to help with the table so I'm not bent over as much, but then my body is constantly like this. So I have a ton of pelvic rotation, and I'm also kind of stuck in flexion. So over time, you know, that's my muscle memory, and I get adjusted once a week. But I also needed some help with that core and getting that muscle memory back into place too.
Definitely, yeah, and that's what I experience most with people having back pain, is like it's usually a weakness, and we just have to gain the strength again and keep this and maintain your posture, which when you have a job that puts you into the same position multiple hours at a time, it's gonna get tired, it's gonna be overworked, and we're just trying to now kind of create that, you know, imbalance, getting the other muscles to activate and hopefully strengthen so that your posture can come back to a neutral place. So yeah.
Perfect. I think that's all we have for the generic low back stuff. What we're gonna do is our next series is we're gonna kind of break it down into muscles that we found are common culprits, and we'll kind of get into more specific. So, all right, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.